So just a few hours ago, some shocking news came out. Well, not that shocking because this story has been going on for months and months and months and months and months. Trent Alexander-Arnold just confirmed he will be leaving Liverpool at the end of the season in what looks like a YouTuber apology video. Today I'll be taking you through Trent's time at Liverpool, giving you a recap of what he said in the video, talking about why he left and what club he's going to next, and also who Liverpool will replace him with. So, like I said, most Liverpool fans or people that follow football news closely won't be that shocked by this, but honestly, I was pretty shocked. The Salah contract story was just as dragged out as this one, and he ended up renewing, so for those who don't know, Liverpool had Salah, Van Dijk, and Trent Alexander-Arnold's contracts all expiring this year, and out of the three players, the one I would expect least to leave the club would be the guy that's in his mid-20s who was born and raised at Liverpool and been at the club since he was in primary school. So Trent is 26, which gives him plenty of time to make an impact at whichever club he goes to. I'll talk about that towards the end of the video, but first let's talk about his time at Liverpool for those who aren't as familiar with him or for those that just want a recap. So like I said, Trent pretty much is Liverpool. He was the captain of the youth teams, and he was hyped up by Steven Gerrard himself as the next big thing for Liverpool. But it was in 2017, at just the age of 19, that Trent broke through into the first team as a starter and one of the best young players in the world. The fullback duo of Trent and Robertson would go on to be one of the best of all time, and Trent was a right back like no other. Still to this day, the way he picks out passes is incredibly unique. It makes him one of the best defenders in the world and a real signature player. In his first few seasons, he was absolutely ridiculous in getting into every team of the season there was, and of course assisting left and right, including arguably the greatest assist of all time right here. But for the past couple seasons, his form has dipped slightly. Maybe dipped isn't really the right word, but he hasn't progressed quite like I thought he would. He's still great, but not out and out the best right back in the world. So it does make sense to me that he'd want a fresh start somewhere else. In the end, with Liverpool, he made 352 appearances and recorded 92 assists. 352 appearances, by the way, puts him in the top 50 of all time for Liverpool, just ahead of Lucas Leiva. He's also in the top 20 for all-time Premier League assists with 64, which of course is the most for any defender. And he's been a key part of winning the Premier League and Champions League for his club, so it's pretty safe to say he's had a pretty successful career so far. Alright, let's get to the contents of Trent's video itself now. Honestly, the best part by far is the first 10 seconds when he does the classic YouTuber apology, sit down, pause, sigh, and goes on to say he's leaving the club in the most monotone voice with a very strange expression where he's looking off to the side of the camera. I'm not going to actually play the video due to copyright, but hang on, let me try and recreate it right now. Okay. After 20 years at Liverpool Football Club, I'll be leaving the team at the end of the season. He then goes on to briefly explain his decision before basically talking about how much he loves the club. He said, it's not about trying to find something better. And he also said, the love I have for the club will never leave. And then, like another famous Arnold once said, he promised he would be back. Yeah, honestly, it was a pretty standard video, and it looked like he was being held at gunpoint to make it, but the big thing is that he did officially confirm he's leaving his boyhood club, and that's pretty huge news. Obviously, the destination that he's 99% most likely to go to is Real Madrid. At right back for them, Carvajal is aging and injured, and Lucas Vazquez is Lucas Vazquez. Valverde has been great there, but he really belongs in midfield. Plus, Real is one of the only clubs in the world that would actually be a step up for Trent in terms of reputation and probably salary. But one conflict I potentially see is the fact that Xabi Alonso is all but confirmed as Real's new manager. I already have a couple videos about that topic, so feel free to check those out. But the reason that worries me a bit for Trent is the way that Alonso plays right now with Leverkusen. You see, his current right back Frimpong is pretty much the opposite of Trent. While Trent loves to get in crosses and set up the play from a bit further back, Frimpong bursts forward, making runs behind the defensive line, and basically plays as a winger. In this 3-4-3 formation, I think Trent would look a little bit lost. England have been playing a 3 at the back system for a while, and Trent hasn't really found his role there. He's much more comfortable in a back 4. Of course, there's every possibility that Alonso might convert Trent into an amazing wingback. He is a bit more similar to Ronaldo than frimpong with his crosses and set-piece delivery, so maybe it could work. There's also the very realistic possibility that Alonso just plays with a 4 at the back. But if Trent doesn't go to Real, what are some other realistic possibilities? Well, like I said, Real is definitely by far the club that makes the most sense for him. But Saudi Arabia has been swooping in for players recently, and I think that's the only thing that would compete with his Real salary, and that might make him want to go to the Middle East. But in terms of world-class level European teams with the hole at right back, it's pretty much just Real. And now Liverpool, of course. They need a new right back after all this, so who will they go for? Well, let's list some rumors and realistic possibilities to close out the video. I already mentioned Leverkusen's Jeremie frimpong. He's Dutch, so he'd have that connection with Arne Slot. He's a bit too attack-minded for what Slot likes. On the complete other side of the spectrum, Ronald Araujo hasn't been getting the game time he deserves for Barcelona, and he would be an incredible addition to Liverpool's squad. He'd be the total opposite of frimpong, though, and that he may even be too defensive. Now, there are obvious choices out there like Hakimi and Dumfries, but I don't think either of those would want to leave their clubs, so honestly, I think what you do here if you're Liverpool is just not sign another right back. I'm a big Connor Bradley fan. I think he looks amazing every time he plays, and while he is different to Trent, I think he works well in Arne Slot's system as that perfectly balanced fullback. He is young, so he's not going to be perfect, but I think he has what it takes to make the step up next season. They also have Joe Gomez to rotate in that position too, so I don't think they need to go spending a bunch of money on a replacement, especially since they're losing Trent for free. So what do you think about Trent leaving? Does it make sense? How will he do at his future club? Probably Real Madrid. Let me know of all this in the comments below and subscribe to Footballers for more videos like this one.